All right. Well, looks like I'm live. This is my first live event or YouTube live, whatever you want to call it. But the funny thing is, I actually have multiple YouTube channels, and I meant to go live on another channel, and so that's the problem. Is I had a topic and I had something I want to talk about on another channel that has nothing to do with this channel. But that being said, I learned something from that. I learned something pretty quick. And I know I'm talking to myself, so if somebody jumps on, I'll re-explain because I'm not sure if this is recorded or not. So here's what I'm learning now as a content creator, and this channel is teach about technology, and this technology called going live is something that I've never clicked on before. Well, let me give you one word of advice. This is very crucial: is click on go live before you want to go live, like with it, like a day before or 2 days before, because as it turns out, if you want to go live, you actually have to activate something in YouTube that takes 24 hours to actually process and go through. I don't know why, but so if you all of a sudden have the urge, like, I want to go live right now, let's go live. Well, you can't if you've never done it before. So go ahead, and I urge you, when you're done listening to me ramble on, click on go live. You don't have to go live. It's going to give you a screen that says you can't go live after until 24 hours. So, and for me, I didn't do it on all my channels. So why don't you fix that mistake and go to all of your channels that you might want to go live in and just click the button. So that's my thought on that. So I just got back from work. As you can see behind me is my green screen. I've got my microphone and my pop filter. I'm not a big fan of this pop filter because it covers most of my, it covers a lot of my face. So I might need to get something different than that. I have a few friends now that are trying to get into this content creation business and teaching online. I have one from Chicago that is trying to get maybe more into maybe gaming, but he's looking to do something where very minimal editing. So everything is just bam, good to go, right? And for that, he's probably going to use OBS, which is I think online broadcasting software, which I use to record my screen and my audio. I use OBS, but I use my iPhone when I'm actually recording myself. I put it on a little stand. It points at me. I can see what it's looking at because it's also connected to my MacBook Pro. And it's pretty convenient for me. Now, for him, though, he wants OBS because in OBS, you can set your scenes. You can create like a little square with you in it, the talking head, with a green screen and chroma key, so it's not there. You can do all that stuff within OBS. So that's what he's trying to do. Now, my other friend, these are all old college buddies, which I need more friends because I do want to start interviewing people. I've got a little bit of interest, but I haven't pursued it too much yet. But my other friend is looking to maybe do more of a setup like I have, where it's more of a teaching type thing and maybe a podcast as well. So I might actually put him on an interview here soon just to get some practice on both of our ends. He wants to teach about finances and real estate and business, and it aligns and overlaps with what I do because I also want to talk about not just business in general, but I like to talk about people's careers and how they got to where they are in life. Now, let's see. So where they got in life, careers, things like that. I'm also, whatever content I put on YouTube, I try to put it up into like chunk-sized pieces, bite-sized pieces, so that I can aggregate it all and create an actual course, right? So that's one of the goals, is to reuse and recycle all of this YouTube content. I use YouTube as my social atmosphere, my social gatherings, everything. Of course, this live chat has nobody in it right now, so I'm sitting here talking to myself. So maybe I'll take a break and take a sip of my coffee. And here's another little something. I'm not sure if this is recorded or not. It probably will give me an option at the end. Hey, maybe I can monetize this. Show support for Mark Gingras Super Chat. Send a highlighted message. I don't know if I can monetize my live stream or not. Not that it matters. I mean, I could talk about monetization and money, though, as soon as somebody jumps on board. But it doesn't matter. It's practice. And I will say this, too. I don't know. Maybe I'm just in the mood to talk. But the fact that there's a potential person on the other end of this listening, I'm already talking more fluid. I'm talking more realistic. I'm talking like naturally. When I actually record myself, I'm so worried about like this and that, and like you have so many things going on in your head. I'm not gonna lie, this is a lot easier, regardless if I'm talking to myself or not. Yeah, maybe I'll grow an audience. I've got 1,800 subscribers. It's not growing as nearly as fast as I want, but what else is new? I think a big deterrent to that was the fact that I switched. I made two other channels, and so some of the subscribers are going there, but not that many either. My R channel is up to like 33 subscribers. I started that maybe 2 months ago. But I'm not worried about the subscribers or the views right now. What I'm doing is I'm worried about accumulating the actual content and having the content niche. I want like all R programming videos on this one channel. That's it. Like if it's not R, it's not on the channel. If it's Python, if it's anything else, it's not on the channel. Now, I'm not the greatest at R. What I'm good at is teaching people the basics of everything. So pick a topic, and if I learn that topic, I can portray that message. I can communicate that to a wide range of people and audiences, and their backgrounds doesn't matter because I can cater to them. So that's what I'm good at. What I like to do is dabble with some programming. I like to dabble with some content creation. I like dealing with contracts. I like dealing with government type work. Just a whole wealth of different things. So my coffee's free from downstairs in my apartment in DC area. So I'm in the DC area and I love it here. I will say that it's expensive to live, but if you get paid the difference, it's not so bad. Let's get back to content creation now. Everything doesn't revolve around that because you have a job to do. You have your regular 9 to 5 or whatever you want to call it, right? So you come home and you're really exhausted and you're like, I was just behind a computer all day. Do I really want to go behind a computer again and do something? Well, I'm trying to work that out differently where it's not a chore, because you don't want it to be a chore. You'll get burnt out. What I'm getting used to, and this is like a little honesty here, is I'm getting used to minimizing the edits, because if I'm teaching a programming course and I teach the course and I throw it on Final Cut Pro, I start doing some edits to it, right? And I splice it, I synchronize everything, or I'm really interested in like, oh, I've got my camera, I need my talking head, I need it to be this, I need it to be that. When you're not in the mood for all of that, just put the microphone on and forget about the camera and don't do a talking head. Not every video has to have a talking head. That talking head actually slows down my content creation quite a bit, but I love it at the same time because of a couple of reasons. One reason is because it gives my audience a friendly face to look at, right? And they say, well, there's a real person. And it's my brand. If you see my face, it's my video. You understand what I kind of talk about, what my style is, right? So I like to do that. But what I'm finding out is, if I make a mistake programming, just spill it out of my mouth and say I made a mistake and just keep going. And why even edit it? Now, I don't want to waste my audience's time though. But the reason why I leave that stuff in there is because I want them to also learn my thought process. My thought process for, hey, I made a mistake. Oh, how do I fix that? Because lo and behold, every single person out there that's going to program is going to also make a mistake. And when they make the mistake, I want them to know that they're human and I make mistakes. Everybody makes mistakes. In fact, I like to show them how I go to like Stack Overflow or Google. How do I even solve this problem? And sometimes the problem's stupid and it's just like, oh, why didn't I know that? I don't know. Let's just keep going. But if I can make something funny or keep it going as like part of the process is failing, then I don't have to edit that out. And that saves me a lot of time. That's your content creation stuff, right? I've been slacking on my goals for creating a Skillshare and a Udemy course, sort of. I mean, I've got about 16 or 17 small 10-minute segments that I can piece together, and I have pieced them together. And I've built some outlines, and I've put them together on the platforms as drafts. But what really is stopping me is I don't have like the intro with a landing page, things like that, and it really slows me down. But the goal is Black Friday is coming up. The goal is to get this video out probably a good week before Black Friday or 2 weeks before. That way we can get all and make sure that we're inside those algorithms for sales, right? My goal is to make more money off of the teaching platforms than I do on AdSense and YouTube. Now, YouTube and AdSense is kind of nice because honestly, it's been steady. Like it barely fluctuates. You know what I mean? So the AdSense money it's smaller, but it's steady. It doesn't change week to week. I look at it every day, and I'm like, oh, it's the same amount. Slightly going up. So when I started taking this more seriously 3 months ago, I was making about $25 a month. So a tank of gas. That was 3 months ago. So I started taking it more seriously, and I'm pushing things to be better, better thumbnails, better content, more frequency, consistency, things like that. That's what I'm trying to do. And so I've gone from 25 a month to 45 a month in just 3 months of, tinkering with it, but also creating two other channels. And those two other channels slowed me down a little bit. Not much though, honestly, because they're both not monetized. So that's a good thing though, because I don't have to worry about like content on there. Like if I don't do it, I don't do it. If I do it, I do it. I don't feel obligated at all because I'm not getting paid for it. Even though, yay, $45 every month is not really paying the bills here. But I hope that people can see this though and say, if he can make $45 a month, I think I can do double what he's doing. Or I'm only a part-time worker. I can double the time that he spends on YouTube and I can make $90 a month. The goal for me by the end of this year is to break triple digits. So between AdSense, Skillshare, and Udemy right now, I'm getting close to about 60 something a month, right? But like I said, I want to make that into the hundreds. Honestly, like I want to be making close to $200 or $300 a month for the effort that I'm putting in right now. So when I do release this course on Udemy and Skillshare, and probably a couple other platforms if I can find them, there's some techie platforms out there that'll pay you to do content. I want to be making a couple hundred a month to really make sure that make me feel good about my effort. I did put in a lot of effort for the past 3 months on trying to create this brand of mine, and the brand, again, for anybody. Well, I can't tell if anybody's on this chat or not. It's probably just me in the room. If you're on the chat, feel free to say hi on the thing, and I'll at least know I'm talking to somebody besides myself. So, let's see what else. I forgot what I was going to say. Coffee. So this is my first time going live, and I actually freaking love it. I'm addicted, and I'm talking to myself. And again, it's because I feel like somebody is probably on the other end, and I am talking to somebody. I'm more natural, more fluid. It's great. I love it. So for just anybody jumping in now, I see one person that it could be me that it's saying there's one person in the room. It could be me. I think it is. Give me a thumbs up if you're in the room. Oh, this reminds me, this is much better than WebEx, by the way. I use WebEx at work quite a bit, and its user interface is rough, and the microphones are all terrible where I'm at. So this is much better with the Blue Yeti mic and whatnot, for sure. So yeah, so when I rebranded my channel to become more of a teach the technology used to create online content for whatever you want to use it for, in my case, for teaching online courses, it was a hard decision because of a couple of reasons. Most of the money that I make and people that subscribe to me, well, first of all, I don't think I'm a subscriber-based channel. I'm a search-based channel at this point, right? People will look up specifically that green screen and they'll find my video. They'll look up specifically this Blue Yeti and they'll find my video. They'll look up something very specific, watch the video, learn something, and then they'll be done with my channel. So I do have that content, and I still plan on doing that all the time. How do you do this? How do you do that to help create content? I will definitely do that. But what I definitely want to do is brand myself in this channel as the go-to guy for, hey, I'm trying to start a course online, but I don't even know where to start, Mark. So maybe Mark can help me, right? And I do that by describing my process of how to get the microphone, how to find time, how to market the stuff, how to write the emails, how to even find the information to go do this stuff, But of course, I'm learning more about Udemy and Skillshare because those are the two platforms that I'm typically been involved with. and I'm making money off of both of them and AdSense as well for YouTube. I'm dabbling slightly into YouTube ads, which I've only put a little effort into it and I can't figure it out really yet. I'm honestly thinking about hiring somebody that's an expert at um, doing that. Now, this sounds like a cop out, but let me tell you my situation. Content is king. We all know that. We've read that a million times. Everybody knows that. But my situation is this. I am a I'm a professional and I have a great job and I do make money on the side. So, they always tell you when you're starting on YouTube, you don't need expensive things. You don't need a green screen, you don't need awesome microphones, you don't need anything. You just need your computer or your phone and you can do it. Right, that's fine and dandy and that's cool and you definitely can. But I do have the means. I can put in a little extra money. I can put $100 in a month for something to try and it wouldn't hurt me, like it's not a big deal. I'm a grown man with a job. So if I want to spend $100 on my hobby, I can do that. So I'm really thinking about spending a couple $100 on hiring an actual campaign manager for ads, simply to gain brand awareness of my other channel and to get people to go there, only so that I can sell them my Udemy and Skillshare courses. You know what I mean? But also to see if it even works. Now, I don't believe that if you just spend money on ads to grow your channel and to get views and to get subscribers, I don't think that's a good way to do it, because I don't think that you'll get your return on your investment at all. But when you bring subscribers to your channel to sell them something physical or tangible or something, you're selling mirrors, you're selling camera gear, you're selling whatever. In my case, I'm selling my courses on Udemy and Skillshare. So I think that if I dabble with that a little bit, it might be worth it. I have a question for people out there that might actually have online content out there for teaching. I'm giving away a course for free, like absolutely free. And it's been free for maybe 2 weeks now. I actually gave away a lot of free coupons before that. Now the rules changed and you can't do that anymore. And literally I gave away like 1,500 free coupons. So I got a lot of students that way, right? Let me tell you the strategy here. And I'm almost certain it's going to work. I'm certain this is part of I plan on making a couple $100 a month starting next year easily. So I've got 1,500 students based on that. Well, I just made my course completely free on Udemy, right? And what I noticed was I'm getting like 60, 70 students every single day signing up. Now, I don't get their email addresses. I don't get their information. However, what I can do is when I send a promotional email, or if I add things to my class, I can add a bonus class. All of those students can see that. All those students can see all of that. And they know me and who I am. You can easily look it up. I could probably slip in like a markgingras.com or something on there, and they can say, oh, plus you can see my name. They just Google me and they find all my other stuff. And that's the idea. It's not my mail. It's not my mail marketing campaign, but I've got access to all these students. Now I'm over 3,000 students now. Now, 1,500 of them are from coupons and kind of shady methods. I don't know. I don't think they work because they were basically all over the world, probably just downloading my course and stealing it. I don't know. But the ones that are organic from Udemy, since I made it free, I've gained like, I don't know, a couple thousand students already. So I'm up to 3,000 something students. My question is, when do I switch it back? Because you can only switch it back once. It can be free and then paid, and that's it. Well, you can start off paid, go free, and go back paid. But that's it if you want to keep it paid. You can't go back to free, then paid again. That's it. So my question is, how many students do I accumulate before I make it not free anymore and actually charge for it? Because I'll still have those 3,000 students point of contacts, so to speak, right? So I would like to get to 10,000 students, honestly, because I'm thinking, all right, if I get 10,000 students, make it paid, then now students do trickle in and they actually pay. Cool, I get 10,000 plus whatever students. But now I have a 10,000 student audience that I can send two promotional emails every single month easily, telling them about my course. That's another course, the R course that I plan on launching, right? So I can send 2 of those every month, and I start hitting these people up with like, hey, and I don't know who they are. They're students. They're 3,000 students that I have no idea who they are, but they do enjoy my course because I'm actually getting ratings from some of them. And usually when you have your stuff for free, people are harsh on your ratings, like harsh. I'm getting 4 and 5 star ratings pretty much every one of them. Now they don't all rate. I only have a few ratings, maybe like 15, right, so far. Um, but they're all good. I've got like a 4.75 rating or something like that on that one course. I'm pretty proud of that. I have 2 courses on there right now, actually. I have a C++ programming course, and I have a supply chain management course. And both of those courses were made from recycled content that I've already had from years ago. I just kind of pieced them together, threw in a couple intros. I added a couple more effects, like zooming in and zooming out when I need to, a couple of diagrams, not much. Threw them on there, and that's my start. That's what says, hey, I made a few bucks. Now let's take this serious. So the one I'm taking serious is the R one, that's going to be launched pretty soon. And I want to be able to have an email campaign without knowing their emails. So that's the only thing that really sucks, is I don't know their emails. So that's another thing on the agenda, is bring them to my website. They get there, and then I would like to get their email addresses, because ultimately, now this might take years. I have time. It's fine, because I have different streams. I have Udemy, Skillshare, YouTube, and then I'll have my own website. Once I start accumulating all the emails from my website, as I launch more courses, I'd like to be able to email them and say, hey, if you liked my previous course, sign up for this one too. Part of my problem is I have too many things I want to talk about. A lot of programming, a little bit of math, but then there's like the government side and logistics and contracts. I love all that stuff. So I plan on teaching courses about all those things, but I don't want to email contract type knowledge to my C++ programming students and vice versa. So I have to kind of separate that out. And that's kind of why I'm like that's why I'm not quite there yet with the email campaign on my actual website. But my website is getting a little better. It straight up does sell something. Like, it's got, hey, here's 6 courses, whatever, how many I have. Some Skillshare courses, they're simple. And if you'd like, I can talk about, there's nobody on. If you'd like, I mean, I'm talking to myself, but I could talk about how the payment system works in Skillshare as well. It's basically per minute divided by how many people are trying to sell stuff and whatnot. But the good thing about Skillshare is, if your course sucks, yeah, you might not get a good rating or something, but honestly, it just means people won't watch it and you don't get paid. But they don't get as pissed off because they pay like their 10 or 11 bucks a month for Skillshare. And if they don't like your course, they go to the next course, and it's the same price. They don't have to keep paying. So they're paying for a monthly subscription. So that model works pretty good. It works really good for short courses. And from what I understand, it works really good if you have a niche like painting or photography or something that you can actually do a project with. So even if you're a programmer, do a project, do a hello world. By the end of this course, you'll be able to do a hello world and spit out diagram or dialogue boxes or something, whatever it might be. So that's it. I just wanted to try this out. Again, the big moral of this live event was that you have to click on live once, and it'll make you wait 24 hours. So you really can't go live until you do that at least the first time. So obviously, I clicked this yesterday. Now here I am, but I actually meant to click it on my other channel, because I was going to rant and rave about some other stuff on my other channel, but I can't because I never clicked it. So I have to wait 24 hours. So maybe I'll be in the mood tomorrow, maybe not. Well, I will find out now if, when I'm done with this stream, if it actually records. I'll leave this up. I hope to get some comments, and I'll be honest, this felt more natural, even though there's nobody in these rooms. So that being said, I will log off and see you on the next one. Adios.